Few things can ensure that your workouts are effective and helping you make progress towards your goals, like keeping a simple workout log. Unfortunately, keeping spreadsheets and writing things down in between each set can be quite a tedious process. That's why I also created the Scoreboard Progression Log many years ago. The free ebook for that is down below, or the much more in-depth explanation is in my book, Micro Workouts. And that basically takes the whole tedium of it and boils it down to one single page or a screen on your computer or smartphone. And in today, I'm going to share with you some more updated tips on how to make it even simpler and easier to use. Now, the way it works is that you are listing out your exercises that you do for each tension chain and potentially how you would go about doing them. By adding these things, it can quickly become very bloated in a hurry, especially if you look at all the different push-up variations you could have or pull-up variations and stuff. So that's why I recommend periodically going through your scoreboard and looking at the exercise variations or methods that you just don't make much of a practice. Like if you don't really practice your close push-ups very much, erase it. Just get rid of it. Only focus on the things that you normally habitually do, which will probably boil down to about 3, maybe 4 variations for the basic compound movements in each tension chain. The other point is you don't need to log every exercise that you do. So when it comes to the single joint stuff in your scoreboard progression log, you may just omit it overall, or you might just simply write down that you do it and roughly your rep range that you have, like bicep curls on a TRX, like 8 to 12 repetitions, maybe a note underneath, like keeping your shoulders packed or something like that. But it's not necessarily something that has to be in there, and you don't have to keep every little detail. You're probably better off just keeping notes and records of the big basic compound movements. And speaking of big compound movements, I've also blocked out things in sections for each tension chain according to variables, particularly like position and direction of force. So for example, in our push chain, I would have a section with a couple of push-up variations, like closed push-ups and then medicine ball push-ups. But then when it came to like pike push-ups or overhead presses, I would make that a separate section. And then dips would be another section. This helps prevent it from being just this big block of text that your eyes kind of have to hunt through in order to find the exercises that you want, and you have a little bit of a breaking point to make it easier to read. And one last thing that I've started doing too is at the very bottom of the workout log, I add an activities section. And what this is for is dedicated workouts and activities, because the scoreboard progression log is based on like a menu format. You have all 6 of your tension chains and you just kind of pick from each one as you will to build your own workout that gives you structure but also flexibility to have more of a intuitive approach to your training. But sometimes we want a dedicated workout, like in my grind style calisthenics program. So under the activities section, what you would then do is write out those workouts specifically, so that way you have some structured workouts that you can follow, but also have the menu-based system with the rest of the progression log. So just like anything else when it comes to diet and exercise, success usually follows along the path of least resistance, and the easier we make it to do the necessary habits for success, the better. And that's the whole point of the scoreboard progression log, is to make it much easier for you to gauge and assess what you need to do to make the progress you want. Again, the ebook is down below, as well as check out my books, Micro Workouts, for more in-depth information. There's a whole chapter on the scoreboard progression log, kind of a micro progression workout log, if you will, down below in the description. Thank you very much for watching. Be fit and live free.